Entrepreneurship is often viewed as a modern phenomenon, epitomized by Silicon Valley startups and tech innovators. However, the roots of entrepreneurial ventures trace back thousands of years to ancient civilizations. Among these, the Roman Empire stands out for its sophisticated economic structures and enterprising individuals known as the Publicani. These private contractors played a pivotal role in Rome's expansion and economic dominance. Their experiences offer timeless lessons on scalability, adaptability, financial strategy, and ethical leadership that remain highly relevant for today's entrepreneurs. In the vast expanse of the Roman Empire, the government often delegated essential services to private individuals and companies. These contractors, known as Publicani, were responsible for tasks such as tax collection, managing public works, and supplying military logistics. They were the backbone of Rome's economic engine, financing large infrastructure projects like roads, aqueducts, and temples, which facilitated trade and consolidated Rome's power. The Publicani were not mere service providers. They were astute business people who built extensive networks and raised capital from wealthy investors, akin to modern venture capitalists. Their ability to scale operations across the empire showcased their prowess in financial engineering and strategic partnerships. By navigating complex political landscapes and aligning their interests with those of the state, they secured lucrative contracts that propelled them to significant economic heights. The rise of the Publicani, private entrepreneurs in ancient Rome, offers a compelling lesson in both the power and the peril of scalability. These enterprising individuals played a key role in financing the Roman Empire's infrastructure, supplying armies, and most notably, managing tax collection. Through tax farming, Publicani paid the government a fixed sum in exchange for the right to collect taxes in a specific region. If they collected more than they paid the state, they profited. This model proved highly lucrative until it wasn't. Their business success hinged almost entirely on government contracts. When political reforms changed how taxes were collected and reduced the role of private contractors, many Publicani were left with no alternative revenue streams. Their heavy reliance on a single source of income became a vulnerability, and their dominance faded almost overnight. Modern parallel. In today's world, startups and even well-established companies can fall into the same trap. A SaaS company that relies on one corporate client for 60% of its revenue, or a manufacturer whose primary sales come from one product line, faces substantial risk. Market changes, new regulations, or losing that key client could destabilize the entire business. The renewable energy sector offers a modern example. Many firms grew rapidly due to government subsidies, but faced major setbacks when those incentives were rolled back. Actionable insight. Entrepreneurs should regularly evaluate their revenue breakdown. If one client, product, or market dominates, it's a red flag. To build resilience, explore diversification strategies, enter new geographic markets, create complementary product lines, or develop subscription-based services that generate recurring revenue. A diverse income portfolio not only guards against risk, but also opens the door to new opportunities for growth and innovation. In the ever-changing political landscape of ancient Rome, adaptability wasn't just an asset, it was a survival mechanism. The Publicani, powerful private entrepreneurs who thrived during the Roman Republic, found themselves out of step with the times when the empire emerged. As political power shifted and centralized under the rule of emperors, administrative systems were overhauled. The Publicani, who had built their wealth and influence under republican institutions, were unable or unwilling to pivot with the new regime. Their inability to adapt to a centralized system and changing power dynamics led to their decline, an eventual disappearance from the economic forefront. Modern parallel. Today's business environment mirrors this turbulence, albeit in different forms. Technological disruption, evolving customer behaviors, and changing regulatory frameworks create constant pressure for companies to evolve. Major cautionary tales include Kodak, which clung to film while digital photography boomed, and Blockbuster, which failed to see Netflix as a threat. Both companies had the resources to pivot, but lacked the vision and adaptability to act in time. On the flip side, businesses like Netflix, Amazon, and Adobe showcase how adaptive strategies can transform entire industries. They pivoted their models: Netflix from DVD rental to streaming, Amazon from books to a global marketplace, Adobe from software sales to subscriptions, demonstrating that evolution is essential to endurance. Actionable insight. Entrepreneurs must embed adaptability into the core of their business. This means cultivating an agile mindset, investing in continuous learning, and fostering a company culture that's responsive to change. Regularly reassess market trends, listen to customer feedback, and empower teams to iterate. In a world where the only constant is change, adaptability is the ultimate competitive edge. The Publicani were adept at financial maneuvers, pooling resources from investors to fund large-scale projects. However, their focus on complex financial schemes sometimes overshadowed the need for sustainable business practices. When external conditions shifted, their intricate financial structures often collapsed under their own weight. Modern parallel. The early 2000s saw numerous startups securing massive funding rounds based on ambitious projections rather than solid business fundamentals. The dot-com bubble burst highlighted the dangers of prioritizing financial engineering over sustainable growth. Similarly, companies like WeWork expanded rapidly using investor funds without a clear path to profitability, leading to significant devaluations. Actionable insight. While access to capital is crucial, entrepreneurs should ensure that financial strategies support a viable business model. Emphasizing profitability, prudent cash flow management, and value creation over mere valuation can lead to enduring success. The downfall of the Publicani was not solely due to external factors. Internal ethical lapses played a significant role. Instances of corruption, exploitation, and prioritizing personal gain over public good eroded trust and invited regulatory crackdowns. Their short-term focus on profits compromised their long-term viability. Modern parallel. In today's transparent and socially conscious market, unethical practices can quickly lead to public backlash and loss of consumer trust. The 2008 financial crisis underscored the consequences of ethical failures in the banking sector. Conversely, companies that prioritize corporate social responsibility and ethical governance often enjoy enhanced brand loyalty and sustainable growth. Actionable insight. Entrepreneurs should embed ethical considerations into their decision-making processes. Establishing clear values, promoting transparency, and holding leadership accountable can foster a culture of integrity. Building trust with stakeholders not only mitigates risks, but also creates a competitive advantage in the marketplace. The Roman Empire's emphasis on infrastructure, roads, aqueducts, and ports, facilitated trade and movement, underpinning economic prosperity. Additionally, standardization of currency, measurements, and laws streamlined operations across diverse regions. Modern parallel. Businesses that invest in robust infrastructure and standardized processes position themselves for scalable growth. For example, McDonald's standardized operating procedures ensure consistent quality across global outlets, contributing to its expansive success. Actionable insight. Audit your business operations and identify areas where standardization can improve efficiency and consistency. Create clear systems, templates, and SOPs, standard operating procedures, for key processes, from customer service to product delivery. Additionally, invest in foundational infrastructure such as scalable tech platforms, logistics, and communication tools that can grow with your business. This groundwork enables faster expansion and smoother operations across markets. Conclusion. Entrepreneurship is not a modern invention. Its roots trace back to the business-savvy Publicani of ancient Rome. These early entrepreneurs built powerful networks, scaled massive operations, and leveraged financial strategy to support an empire. However, their downfall, caused by over-reliance on government contracts, political shifts, and ethical missteps, reminds us that long-term business success requires adaptability, diversified revenue, financial prudence, and integrity. Their story offers timeless business wisdom that today IS founders can learn from and apply in navigating today's volatile and competitive landscape. Key takeaways: diversify income sources. Don't rely on one client or revenue stream. Build resilience by expanding into new markets and creating multiple income channels. Stay adaptable. Flexibility is crucial. Like the Publicani, companies must monitor industry trends, tech disruption, and policy changes, and pivot when needed. Use financial engineering responsibly. Access to capital is useful, but it's not a substitute for a sound, sustainable business model. Prioritize ethics and trust. Long-term success depends on transparency and integrity. Ethical lapses can destroy even the most powerful empires or startups. Invest in infrastructure and systems. Scalable systems and standardized processes, like Rome's roads and currency, are the foundation for sustained growth. Understand political and market risk. The Publicani thrived under a specific system. When that changed, their fortunes collapsed. Modern founders must also anticipate regulatory risks. Leadership is legacy. The most enduring businesses are led by visionaries who balance ambition with responsibility, and that's the story of how the entrepreneurs of ancient Rome built and lost their empires. The rise and fall of the Publicani isn't just a lesson in history, it's a mirror for today's founders, about what it really takes to scale, sustain, and lead with integrity. So, what will your business legacy be? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss more timeless business lessons from the past and how they shape the future. Drop a comment below. What's the biggest lesson you're taking away from the Roman entrepreneurs? Thanks for watching. And remember, even 2,000 years ago, smart strategy and strong values were the true empire builders.